Yo.
Hey.
Say what? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yo.
Is this thing on?
This thing on. Hello, hello. I like that. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Get up and move your body, move your body.
Hey.
It's going down. Yo, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich.
Hey. There we go. That's what I like to see.
Coming back on in. Hey. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are finally up. We're finally on.
Doing the do.
Gonna make it happen today. Yeah. Welcome to season 3. I wish I had some echo in my voice right there. Season 3.
Hey.
Good morning, good morning. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Chat Chimers already. We got Wanda Lewis giving us a good morning. What's happening?
Yeah, that's what I like to see.
Judy Princess gives us a welcome back. What's happening, Judy? Good to see you again.
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's good
Yeah, man. Off to a start. That's what's going on this morning on this Wednesday, January 19th, 2022. Tootie, finally.
Tootie.
Yo. Once again, thank you for joining us. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd. Star Trek Rich is at the spot, and he's kind of in the background. We had to kind of do live from the void today.
Yeah. It seems like that. It's just like internet problems going on everywhere.
Yeah, but it's so cold outside. I'm kind of happy that we had some internet problems today. So,
man, would y'all believe it? I tried to get away. I tried to escape. I still got hit with some snow, man. Oh,
you got it bad too, huh?
Yeah. No, it was for old Nebraska boy, it wasn't that bad. But the streets, I'm used to the streets being pretty full. They were barren.
Interesting. Everybody hit out during the Atlanta snow. Well, it's feeling like 10 below outside today, so
we're not getting there. We're not getting there.
Yeah.
I think the lowest we got is just around freezing, just around 32.
I don't want to hear that. JR Ignacio Sanchez, what's going on, brother? He says Bellevue, Nebraska, checking in. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you too, bro. Appreciate you timing in this morning. That's what's happening. Yeah. And we got a good morning from the radio channel. What's happening, Beth?
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in this morning. And over the I just failed to mention that we are going live right now on the radio channel as well. First Sky Omaha, the listen button.
Hey.
Of course, you can go to the website firstsky.omaha.com, hit that listen button, and check us out on the radio channel. So thank you for getting up and doing that for us as well. And we're broadcasting in a couple more spots this time around too. We actually got the YouTube channel. We're broadcasting live on YouTube right now and also Twitter. And then of course, First Sky Omaha, the Facebook page, Friends of First Sky Omaha. And if you're on Friends of First Sky Omaha or the First Sky Omaha page, then you can go ahead and jump into the comments, because you know that this whole thing is so that we can have some conversations with you and want to hear what you got going on as well. So once again, we are live from the void. I'm in my void and Buddy is in his void.
Yep.
This past week, we've had some difficulties, including over there at Weberize. There's a few little difficulties over there, but I'm sure that Rich is doing the thing and he always got our back. So shout out to Star Trek Rich as well. But yeah, man, that's what in the pursuit of trying to clean things up and get things to be able to be delivered to you better. We technical difficulties. We run into all kinds of stuff all the time trying to get this thing happening. But I will say, because we've been doing this, people have been calling me off the hook. Like, could you guys help us get our live stream up? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're on the forefront of trying to figure some of these problems out.
Man.
And of course, thanks to y'all, the Chat Chimers, the listeners that give us feedback all the time on, how we're coming in, how we're looking, how we're sounding, and all that good stuff. So please continue to do that. And yeah, we're happy to be back. How you feeling over there, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm definitely excited and definitely feeling the same way. People just kind of also around here. I've been helping some other organizations with their live streaming situations here already, and people are definitely taking notice. I actually had one person walk up to me like, "How are you doing that? How are you doing that?" So yeah, we're just trying to figure it out, man. We're neck deep in it. There's a lot of head smoking going on for season 3 and some of the new things that we're hoping to bring y'all. So
Yeah,
definitely bear with us, be patient, and feeling good to be back.
yeah,
Feeling good to be back. I think that's also one term that I kind of learned over the last month or so is analysis paralysis. You can kind of get stuck in the notion of trying to make things perfect, and we could have easily been like, "Oh, it's not idea how we want to do it, so we're just not going to come back," and then you end up never coming back. So we're back.
yeah. And the
Yeah.
one thing I like about this show too, first of all, we got a hello from Michelle Moreno. Good morning, hello, good
Hey,
morning. Thank you
top of
for
the
tuning
morning,
in. Brother Sanchez says pioneering. Yeah, man,
man.
trying
Trying.
to lead the way. Yeah, man. One thing I do like about this show, though, we come from backgrounds in media where we produce things with it with some completion,
Mm-hmm.
and we are working towards that. We do have the First Guy Omaha channel coming. We're going to have some pieces that are way more polished, way more ready, together, thought out. But the thing about this show, though, is that it's just raw. So I don't mind so much coming straight from the void so much and all that. Like as long as the signal comes in clear, it's raw because basically we let you guys we're all in this together to figure things out and to
Mm-hmm.
work things out. This is where all the stuff gets worked out
Man.
to when we have the polished shows and things that we're trying to do with KIOS this year and all that, it'll come from these conversations. So that's what I like, the fact that it still stays raw and all that good stuff. And so yeah, I got excited for how season 3 is going to lay out, and we got some good plans for us. So
Yeah.
definitely stay tuned on that.
Also, speaking about that, I do want to put this bug in y'all ear. Over the last year, I mean, again, we're just about 300, just over 365 days into this thing. It's been a crazy road. It's just so mind-boggling to think it's only been a year how much stuff we've been going through just on this show alone. But we
Yeah,
we appreciate. I say all that to say we appreciate the chat chimers out there, everybody that listen, even those who don't chime into the chat, but you tune in and support. We're definitely putting some effort and some ideas into making more of a community. Let's do this more things together. So if anyone has any ideas of what they would like to see as a chat chimer community, as the First Guy fam, let
yeah.
us know. Let us know.
There you go. Man, we left off season 2. We had some heavy hitters as far as guests are concerned. We're gonna continue that this season as well. Some of the previous guests, Senator Carol Blood, put some respect on her name.
Hopefully,
Um,
Governor Carol Blood. We'll see. We'll
man,
see.
yeah, we definitely got to talk about the gubernatorial race because Rick has just endorsed Ellen Pillin. So yeah, it's funny, man. I took a break. I took a real break this last month. Like I didn't hardly look at nothing. And
Yeah,
came back and started looking at the news this past week, and I was like, man, not only did
man.
nothing change, it got worse.
Did you see what Biden said yesterday or
No,
Monday?
I
Oh
missed it. What'd he
man,
say?
he basically said that he compared the George Floyd, Martin Luther King, deaths and the impact that they had, and said that George Floyd had more of an impact than Martin Luther King Jr. did, or it was something that, like, to the effect of like, come on, man. One, why would you make the comparison? And two, what are you talking about?
Man,
Yeah, so I say that to say we didn't miss much. We didn't.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Let me jump back in the chat real quick. We got Christy Norris that says, "Good morning, everyone. I've missed y'all. Yeah, we missed y'all too. We definitely have." Amy Huffless, good morning. She says, "Familia, welcome back and good morning. Good morning to you too. Thank you so much for tuning in. Since we just starting up this season and we didn't do a whole lot of fanfare for the startup because, like I said, this show is real raw. But so we always kind of have to build back up to everybody. So tell a friend that we're back on, and
Hey,
come over and let's have some conversations. This show is turning into where the chat chimers like are the kind of the chosen few, the cats that we're discussing things with that we bring out to the rest of the world here. So Yeah, I'm definitely seeing this show differently than I did when we first started last year.
Mm.
A year ago. It's definitely different. It's the building blocks. It's just where the early adopters come in and we discuss the things that we're talking about, and then can kind of broadcast that out to the world after that. So this is kind of like the insider group right here, which is so I'm very happy to see all these names in the chat already coming on back in. That's what's
Like I
happening.
said, it's a community, man, and it's kind of interesting. One thing I have been paying attention to is just how the creator community is growing, and how the economy is kind of flipping. Like, definitely
Mhm.
over the pandemic, I just saw a post on Instagram. The highest paid YouTuber is 7-year old Nastasha. She made about $28 million last year. And
Yeah.
just seeing how communities have kind of grown over the pandemic really is really kind of what spurred all of these people coming together, not really being able to go out in public. So these types of communities have popped up over the last 2 years. So I'm definitely interested in seeing where this goes and how this grows, and excited to be a part of this community. Like I said, we're definitely looking to continue to mobilize and continue to actually double down on our mission of not only talking about the issues and talking about what we think is cool and what matters to us, and we're mobilizing on it and getting people to move. So with that said, I got a glimpse into the metaverse. I do at some point want to take the fam through the metaverse, and maybe brainstorm some ideas on how we can get some things going. Maybe get First Sky Omaha in the metaverse, because remember, season 3, space is the place. That is our whole motto this season. That is our whole theme of this season, talking about space in its various forms, whether we're talking about outer space and the commercial expeditions that's going on with Tesla and the other companies, but also continuing to talk about spaces for colored people, for BIPOC, however you want to call it, for
Color people.
for
We,
us.
we ain't said color people in a minute.
I
It's way
know.
back.
Hey, but there's some people that still call us that, man. Still look at us
We
that
need to
way.
find
So
some spaces for Negroes in this country.
hey, again, we're still fighting for space, man. You see what's
Yeah.
going on the Deuce. You see what's going on in North Omaha. We've been talking about it, and we're going to continue to talk about it. So
Yeah,
again,
man.
season 3.
One thing that has not let up over the break is all of the chat chimers, all the folks that contribute to First Sky Omaha, and they have been tearing up the inbox on stuff that need to be talked about, especially the stuff that we left off on, like the ARPA funds. While we were on the break, they kind of broke down where some of that money was going to go to, and then closer to now, they broke down how they were going to distribute it. So there's a lot to talk about there for sure. I caught a glimpse. I didn't, like I said, I took a real break from the news, but I caught a glimpse of Justin Wayne, like this, saying excuse me, Senator Justin Wayne, put some
Put some
respect on
respect
his
on his
name.
name. All right, all right.
Um, Him saying that they could have been these funds could have been used differently. I don't think everybody's happy about like what the
Mm-mm.
mayor finally came out and said where the funds were going to go and how. So I see Brother Muhammad in the chat. Assalamu alaikum, brothers.
Hey, walaikum salam,
Alaikum
brother.
salam. Yeah, appreciate you tuning in this morning, getting up, going out into this cold, doing your walk in this below 10-degree weather. You tough if you're doing that, man. I was Brother Rich called me and said, "Hey, we're having some difficulties over here at Webberize." I was like, "Cool." I didn't want to go dig this part.
Okay, okay. I read the tone of your text a little differently.
Yeah,
I didn't get glee from the text, but
yeah.
okay,
Well,
okay.
I wasn't trying to act like I was gleeful
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I understand, man. Be safe out there for all of you who have to go out there. Go punch the clock and things like that. Again, please drive safely.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so we're definitely going to pick up on the stuff that we were talking about before. Like we said in the intro, there, the gubernatorial race is going to be important. Get back with Senator Carol Blood, put some respect on her name. Also, the Douglas County Attorney's race.
Man.
Don Klein is saying he's going to run again. He just announced that. So so we, some things to get back on and keep on, just like how we were last season, man. We got to keep talking about this, figure out what we want to do, figure out who we want to put in those seats, and try to mobilize and get people in those seats as well. We got to catch up on COVID because, like I said, I took a real break and I came back and it was like COVID is worse than ever. I was just like, man.
Yeah, I've heard of maybe a couple more variants coming out. There was one report that there was an accident in the lab that created another variant,
What?
and yeah,
Yeah, that's
they were trying to do some tests on some vaccines, or they were testing something with it, trying to learn more about it and mess some things up.
yeah, some accidents in the
Yeah,
lab.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's a
Like
whole nother conversation.
the first variants were accidents in the lab too, I'm quite sure. But
Hmm.
anyway,
Hmm.
Brother Muhammad said after the show, walking inside Adams Park Gym. Oh,
Okay, okay.
hey, good idea. I haven't done that yet. I gotta check that out. Uh, Miss,
Missy Play School. Hey,
you know what Missy Play School means, right?
what's that?
It means Miss Erica Felt is in Facebook jail again.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
That's what that means.
Locked up.
She locked. Good morning to you, Missy Play School. Appreciate you coming on in. She said, "Dag, y'all here? Good morning. That's what's up. Appreciate you. Yeah, we back. We got up.
Yeah, yeah.
It was tough because I was sleeping in for a minute. That's another thing I did over the break. Slept in.
Got to get back to the sleeping schedule.
Even though sleeping in now is like I'm still up by 9.
Oh yeah,
Because
oh yeah.
when you get up at 5, sleeping in is 7, 8 really.
It's still early. It's still early. Amy Huffley says, like old times. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Back like we never left, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
kind of curious what's going on with y'all. How was your holiday, New Year?
Would love to hear that.
Would you get into? Take a vacation?
Yeah, man. Hey, Pops hit me up. What was it? Monday. Monday was supposed to be the day that we came back,
Right, right.
and we had a new space that we were trying to get into. Buddy explained all this in the video. I'm sure you guys saw it. There was a new space that we were trying to get into. It wasn't no weatherized. I'll just say that. And so
Man,
and then everybody was off because of MLK Day, so we couldn't get a hold of nobody to get nothing happening. So we had to let it go. But Pops hit me up that day and was like, "Man, I was looking frantically for you guys to see where if I was missing it or what was going on." So I was surprised that he hasn't been on today. So I gotta see if he's got some technical difficulties going on. But I'll hit him up after the show, see what's happening. I know I'm sure everybody's wondering where's
hmm.
Pops. It's just like we are. But I'm seeing that the gang is all back, man. People are
Oh
coming
yeah.
back in. Appreciate you. Missy Play School says, "Thank you, Miss Wanda Lewis, for pulling my coat and letting me know to get in the room." There you go. Miss
There
Wanda
you
Lewis
go.
is on
Tell a friend and tell a friend. You heard what I said.
it. Tell a friend, tell a friend. We love it. Lots of things going on this season. Like Buddy just said, space is the place, is the theme of the season. And in all kinds of different ways. By the way, speaking of that, can you guys see the space moving in the
Yeah,
background?
I meant to ask that.
Can you see it this time, buddy?
No,
You still can't see it. Okay.
but
So
it's not about me. It's about the people. So
does
let
it
us
look like
know. Are we floating through the stars?
does it look like a static picture of stars, or are the stars actually moving in your broadcast? We're trying
See,
to be
see,
fancy. We're trying to be
see.
fancy.
It's not about me. They see it. They see it. They know where we going.
Okay, good, 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 good. I wonder why you can't see it over there. That's
I don't
real
know,
interesting.
man. I'm kind of hurt about it, but as long as the people can see it, it's all right with me.
All right, we floating through space. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. Thank you, y'all, for letting us know that. Kateri Himepeto says, "Good morning. Good morning to you. Appreciate you. Thank you very much." And everybody says we see it. So that's what's up, man. I was like, I worked hard on trying to get that little thing moving like that. So I'm glad it's working.
Hey, Star Trek Rich Dreams. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
there you go.
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
we will be bringing back the Trekkie words of wisdom this year. We
That's right.
actually had some words of wisdom on Monday. I'm not have
Yeah,
to go back and recap, but yeah,
yeah.
we're bringing that back.
And Brother Rich sent over some tricky words of wisdom today too. So we'll do that.
Hey,
Yeah, man. He's on it. That's what's going on. So anyway, yeah, if you're just joining us, you're first of all, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning, back on season 3, 720 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're back. We're keeping it loose today. We're kind of just recapping what was going on in season 2 and letting you guys know about what's happening in season 3. We also want to catch up with you because you know what this is. This is a conversation with y'all. What did you guys do over the break? What was some of the news over the break that got you hot? I already know that people that hit me up on the inbox. There were some things that they were concerned about. Beeee,
hmm.
what's going on with 24th and Lake Street area? Preston Love started a tour this break. He's
Yep.
got a new
Yep.
tour bus, and we went on the first North Omaha tour with him. So that was cool. We kind of stopped off into one of the stops was over there at the Culture House, so we caught up with Marcy Yates over there. They got a lot going on. I had a lot of meetings with Noise over the break as well, and some meetings with the Reader, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot going on with that. We're tightening things up. We have some dates that we're getting set over at the Benson Theater for some events for season 3. So there's a lot going out. Wanda Lewis says space is very relevant. We need to acquire more of it, starting with our own community. That's
That's
what
what
we
I'm.
need.
So we're talking about. I'm glad y'all get it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Senator Carol Blood, put some respect on her name, was speaking about how the internet is going to be the
Yeah.
high speed internet is going to start coming from satellites, and we thought that was very interesting. Plus, this platform that we're doing things on here, our biggest platform is Facebook. I think most of y'all are on Facebook watching us there. Facebook has turned into the company Meta, and they're trying to push everything into the metaverse. So, like Buddy was talking about, we did a little venture, jumped into the metaverse a little bit, and looked around and saw what it was going to be like. And
Man,
it's a trip. It's kind of a
it
trip.
is. Um,
I don't know how much everybody's going to adopt that scene, and I don't know how much. I don't know if this is gonna, what I'm saying. I don't know what Zuckerberg got up his sleeve. He might have. I don't know what he's trying to do, but I do know that they're creating this whole alternative world that links together that you can be in. Some of your kids is already in it, playing video games in it and stuff like that.
it's not even just a virtual world. Like it's connected to the real world. It's very interesting. I've actually been kind of tripping about it since I went to an NFT conference. Not necessarily a conference. It was like a workshop, more like a workshop, an NFT workshop over the weekend. And there's somebody there talking about how they purchased a metaverse building. At the time that they purchased it, they said it cost them 1.5 Ethereum, which was at the time equivalent to about $10,000.
Hmm.
Um, but again, this venture is very interesting because you can go into this virtual space. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to um, pay for anything. All you have to do is have the coordinates, the online like address, the URL, which actually has coordinates attached to it, and you can jump right into this metaverse space. But there's like links where you can watch YouTube videos. You can go to people's Instagram pages. You can like walk in. It is crazy. Like you can buy stuff there and actually send it to your home. It's very interesting, and I definitely want to talk about what that means for the future, especially like you just mentioned, Paul, with certain sectors of the community not having access to high speed internet. I mean, as we're dealing with this again, trying to send high quality video out over the internet. You need access to some good internet, and it's not very abundant. I'll say that you definitely got to search for it. So,
Yeah.
um, as we move into the internet and move into the metaverse, does that mean again more marginalization? We'll see.
And not only that, man, there's something little bit sinister about it for me. Like we
A
just
little dystopian, a
like
little.
what Wanda Lewis said, we need some actual physical more spaces for in our own community. So let's not get caught up in buying metaverse Jordans and stuff like that, because we need to spend some money on some land.
Actually, speaking of that, I did come across this. I don't know if you're familiar with it. He's a social media influencer, Brother Ben, as a part of the Nation of Islam. Brother Muhammad, you might be familiar with him. But they have he has a venture called the Hereafter Farms. It's about 250 acres that he just purchased with other families. And it's looking like they're building their own town. It's kind of interesting. I want to look more into it, but maybe if we can get a brother Ben on First Sky this season and talk to so see brother Melvin Muhammad, you maybe be able to hook us up, man. I would
Yeah.
definitely love to speak to him about that,
Heck yeah, that's what's up.
because yeah, it's not just virtual space but real space. We were talking about
Yeah.
it all. How do you define space? Because season 3, space is the place.
There you go. Brother Sanchez is chiming in. He said, I wouldn't like to see the North Omaha community beautify 24th Street by planting flowers along the green space next to the curbs. You wouldn't like to see that, or you would like to see that? It's there. Which did you misquote that? Miswrite that? Let me
Yeah,
know. He also said if you live within 1 mile from a school, you should get free internet. I like that idea. I
I
never heard of
do.
that.
I do like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
would.
Would. Okay, well, that's interesting you say that because the BID is actually he said he would like to see North Omaha community beautify 24th Street by planting flowers along the green spaces next to the curbs. That was one of the things that the BID was pushing for, some beautifying around that area. And they're also still, I guess they're still raising money and trying to go ahead and get that whole North Omaha Music Academy thing going and the NOMA thing happening. So there was definitely some progress and some conversations over the break on that, and we'll definitely have to kind of catch up on some of that because we all know that like the BID was appointed by the mayor, by
Mm-hmm.
Mean Gene, and and, and and they it wasn't they took it away from the Loves Jazz situation, so the family's name is off of it, but the city still owns the building. But this time, they want the BID to run it so they can have some kind of regulation over what's going on in that building. See if they're going to just give it to us like that. So there's a lot to be said on that. There's a lot of people chiming up about it, and I because we put ourselves in this position, there's sometimes I get confronted. And people
Mm.
come up to me and like, what do you what it is what why how come you won't support this or that? And I'll say, well, me and my chat chimers, me and my folks got a different attitude about this. We got something to say about it. And it's all because we sit here and we do this and we talk to you guys and we're able to come to some conclusions about how we want to mobilize and what we want to do. I don't mind beautification around the area. I think it needs it too. But I also think what's the real focus here?
Yeah. I was gonna say that. I mean, to your point, brother Sanchez. I mean, that's kind of the only thing that I've been hearing from the BID. That's like the main thing I've been hearing them talk about is beautification and planting trees. And I understand that that's kind of an initial step and an important step to make something look good. To kind of urge people to take more care of it. But yeah, I would like to hear more ideas on how people plan to bring in business and really spur some development and growth.
And I think a lot of this is going to feed into the gentrification of the area. Um, I got a little bit of trouble over the break for me saying something that I said about the fact that there was a controversy going on with the sign that is up
Oh
in North
yeah,
Omaha.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, let me see. I think
Try to
Missy
pull it
Place
up.
was there. Yeah, nah, I ain't even. I get mad every time I look at it. Um, Missy Place
Yeah.
said the BID, the folks with the billboard telling grown people how to act.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get what she was talking about. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's well, I made a comment about that billboard saying that this is really some middle class order over people BS.
Mm.
Didn't really like it. I don't think everybody who talked about it did not like it. Um, and it makes you mad. It's they don't it's obvious that they're not caring about people. They're caring about whether or not the street has some flowers on it, whether or not it's safe for white folks to come to, and all these other little things that are really kind of tenets of gentrification and middle class bougie BS, bro. Like I'm not, I'm saying it rubbed me the wrong way, and it rubbed everybody the wrong way, I said what I said because I knew we were in here talking about it, and this group was hot. I got all kinds of inbox messages from people that are just like, "What? Are you kidding me?" I had white friends that were like, "Who did Gene put that up?"
Can't miss
Ba-
the tone, man. You can't miss it.
Basically, and we're like, basically, because the organization that she appointed are the behind putting that up.
Hmm.
So I couldn't wait to get on here and hear hear in real time what you guys thought of this and all that. So I'm gonna jump back into it here. Brother Sanchez says every business homeowner should be responsible for the space in front of their property. Ask for help if needed. Okay. Fruit trees, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I got taught by a really good friend of mine out in L.A. It don't matter where you at, plant a fruit tree. I don't care if you live in an apartment complex. Use the little grass in front of your spot and plant something.
Hmm.
It might be if everybody did that, then there would be fruit trees all around all the time. So yeah, man, there's no reason why there can't be something like that happening all the time. Stacey Jean in the house says, "Good morning, First Sky
Hey,
Omaha family and friends. Appreciate you."
top of the morning.
She said, "I didn't like what that billboard was saying either." Yeah, yeah. I don't think none of us. I mean,
Yeah.
first of all, where it was located, it's located on 24th Street. Who they talking to? Number one, who they talking to? If you come to North Omaha, be who ain't clean? Who
It
ain't
it says keep it safe, legal, respectful, clean. It's almost like I definitely feel like I'm getting a finger wagged in my face.
bro from our own folks? That's the killer. Brother Justin Wayne, put some respect on his name, came out with a on that police blue background too on top. Like, yeah, it was a very like cop. I don't know, man. It was, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. But yeah,
Missy plays
definitely.
Missy Play School says appearances, painting the house while the foundation falters. Right.
Exactly.
Brother Sanchez says the statement represents a police state of mind. Exactly. Amy Hutflett says, but if you look back at their page, they had that same line for a long time.
Hmm.
Anybody looking at that?
Hey, I don't gotta do that much digging to know. Just look at the billboard.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Definitely.
one thing. You go to sit in the privacy of your own home and go to their site and check something out and be mad. But that's out for every kid walking down the street, every kid
Mm.
playing ball across the street. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's
You
public.
just you hope that you'll more so like to see something that instills more community pride. Like, this is the Deuce. This is, you know what I'm saying? More than just kind of wagging your finger at the people.
Like, we ain't clean. Like, we're not law abiding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who are you talking to? First of all, putting it right there. Take that board out to the west side and see if anybody gets upset. We got a good morning late from Terry Bricker. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey,
Top
better
of the
late than
morning to you.
never.
We were asking everybody how was their break. What did you guys do over the break? I mean, y'all didn't get the break. We got the break, but what happened over the break that you found significant and couldn't wait to talk about when you got
Yeah.
back here? Wanda Lewis says the BID board is under the sunset clause. Leads me to think that after all agendas have been accomplished, they won't need them anymore. After all their agendas have been accomplished, they won't need them anymore.
What is the sunset clause?
That's a good question. What is the sunset clause? Let us know, Miss Lewis. Ty Williams gives us a good morning. Appreciate that.
Oh
Terry
man.
Picker said I got the Rona on the break. Oh
I'm
man,
sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm not surprised because
It was going crazy.
everybody around me has gotten it.
Man.
Um, Not everybody, but just almost everybody. Like Fauci is saying it's going to touch us all this time around. Thankfully, though, that if you've been vaccinated, you might not die from it. So it's tough. Missy
Yeah.
Playschool says, I'm thinking about my son who went to Lorthrop Elementary. What he may have thought about authority if he saw that billboard.
Hmm.
This is really real. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. We're keeping it loose this morning, y'all. We're just going to talking about what we were doing over the break, what season 2 was all about, and what we're going to do here in season 3. Space is the place.
Yeah, man.
Going down. Amy Hufflett says, I feel like a unicorn for not having it yet. Sheesh. Well,
Hey,
yeah, me too.
you and me both. Right, right.
Although I don't know, man. I think like way back in 2019,
You know,
I think
you
I
know.
had some weird 3-day thing that I ain't never identified way back before all this started.
you know, now that you say that, there's like you talking about like October, November 2019.
Yeah. You too, huh?
I know exactly what you talk about.
Terry Bricker says, the doc said my vax probably kept me out of the hospital. Boy, glad
There
to
you
hear
go.
that.
Speaking of that, I did see that we kind of got down to our last hospital beds in Omaha over the break. I think
Yeah.
Michelle just posted that.
That's what I'm saying, man. We gotta catch up on COVID again now. It's really interesting that when you take a break from the news. It's really interesting. I actually really did take a real break. Didn't really look at none of it. I turned on the thing last week to start looking at the news again, and I was like, COVID is worse than ever. You know what I'm saying? Now they're scared for kids under 5. Kids in
Man.
the hospital. So it's really interesting to see like what's going on. It's crazy high, right? Michelle Moreno says it's crazy high. Brother Sanchez says visit historic North Omaha, birthplace of Malcolm X, home of Senator Ernie Chambers and boxing champ Terrence Crawford. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
some community pride. That'll make you want to, respect.
put that on a billboard.
I'm saying that'll make you want to keep it clean. Like, hey man, it's Bud Crawford. You better not throw that out. He'll knock you out.
Matter of fact, anybody talk to Bud, let him know we talking about this on the show, man. Maybe Bud can bring up some points that somebody will listen to. Terry Human Pedal says babies in my son's daycare are popping up COVID positive. Oh my god! So far, there's been 3 with another pending test result. One of them has the flu Rona. Yeah, but
Sheesh.
about that. That I did do that though. I got that sinus infection. Went and got tested. I was going getting tested every 4 or 5 days because I was just like, what is going on? Never caught the Rona, never caught the flu, but definitely had some kind of sinus infection or something going on. And
Man, I mean,
everybody around me was down.
I had a little head cold, but even with that, you nowadays you like I don't know.
Sean McCarthy says, welcome back, everyone. Thank you
Hey.
for joining us. Really appreciate that. Again, we're keeping it loose today. This is the first day back for season 3. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. Star Trek Riches is at Webberize trying to make it happen. We're in the void right now, bringing it to you with efforts to bring it even cleaner and better to you. This is how we're doing it, and make it so that we can really have some effective conversation going on here, and stay on and stay clean and stay cool and all that good stuff that BID wants us to do. Stay legal.
All that stuff.
Missy Play School says parents are being selfish or in some cases having greedy employers. So they're taking their kids to different programs instead of having their child quarantined or even tested. The number of parents refusing to get their child tested is bizarre to me. Yeah, I've heard some stories over the news this past week about people that are just bringing their kids to work because they're so frustrated with what schools. They say school will be in tomorrow, and then they call you that morning and say we had a case, and so we're quarantining for 14 days and stuff like that. And and they can't stay home from work, so they've been bringing their sick kids to school to work with them, and all kinds of crazy. It's chaos out here with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with your kids? You know.
Missy Play School says childcare businesses are being hit hard by this Omicron.
Man.
So yeah, there you go. And again, that's why we definitely appreciate Missy Play School and everyone out there that talks about the childcare. I almost want to put together a panel of childcare providers to really have a conversation about it, because that's kind of the domino. It's a domino effect. Like you said, once if parents have nowhere to take their children,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard to go to work. Can't take them to work. I mean, what do you do? And then once people stop going to work, it's just all downhill from there.
Very true. Ty Williams in the chat says, "What is up with all the pedestrians getting hit crossing the street?"
Man,
It's another thing that's been going on over this break. Several people have been hit. Several people have been dying, getting hit and getting killed crossing the street. Yeah, that's a good question, man. I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that we're 3 years in a row the worst drivers in the whole country, according to a Newsweek study. I don't know. Good question though. Where was I at on that? Top of the, let's see, Brother Sanchez says top of the line street lights and well designated crosswalks to encourage pedestrian traffic. Haven't heard anybody get hit on the bikes. I'm glad the bike lanes are working like they need to be.
that's good.
Michelle Moreno says I've been double masking at work. Man, it's funny. This morning I was thinking, like, what can you do? What can people do to not be in that situation where they have to send their kids to school? And if the kids can't go to school, they're in real trouble with their job, with work. And I'm just thinking about me and my community, a lot of people that I know are homeschooling, like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that circumvents all that. How can you keep things rolling with if your kid can't go to school? Well, a couple things need to happen for homeschooling. First of all, you got to be able to be home to school, and then second of all, you got to
That
have
part.
the expertise to do it,
Yep.
and
The
and
patience.
patience,
Man.
all of that. So, so luckily you got some work that you can kind of do remotely. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's as you've been going through that, I'm just thinking about that. Like, man, it's a blessing to be able to do this and be a journalist and kind of work from home.
Yeah,
You
but
know, not
but I remember back in like probably about 2000, 2002 or three for me. Me and a friend of mine were running a business in California, and we just said, um, no, we were in Hawaii at the time. We just said, whatever we do from now on, we need to be able to do with a laptop from the beach.
mm,
And I remember way back there going, one of these days we're going to get to the point where we can work remotely, work from anywhere, make all the money we need to make, but working from anywhere. And he also was the person who was at the time was studying to be able to homeschool his kids. Like there's everybody can't do it, but I often think about that when the world is chaotic, when things are getting crazy. Well, what can you do to circumvent a lot of this stuff? Well, the only thing I can think of is if your kids can't go to school, keep them home. But if you got to go to work, then what are you going to do? There's just so many factors here that you got to like almost like have to game the system in order to be able, like, I feel like it's a game the system situation to be like, I'm able to work remotely and
mhm,
I'm able to pull my kids out and teach them at home. Like
mhm.
you got to
I
have a home.
I think one thing is for certain after this that nothing's going to be the same. Like society will continue to change, and especially again as we talk about this metaverse thing. You kind of asked, about adaptation and how people will sort of, adopt to it. I don't think people will have too much of a choice.
Yeah,
I mean, it was the same with the internet. Eventually you're going to have to get a computer and learn how to work this thing.
very true. Very true. We're letting the chat get away from us. Let me jump back in it real quick. Stacey G says, over the break, I lost my sight and had a brain biopsy.
Mm,
Biopsy was negative. With the help of meds, I got my vision back. Thankful. My
man,
God.
right, man. What a what a testimony.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're here.
thankful indeed.
Christy Norris says, I kept my guard down and hugged my family. Tested positive on Monday. Did you know back pain is an Omicron system symptom? Uh-oh. Maybe I had to get another test now because I got back pain all the time. So
Mm.
let's see what's going on. I did not know that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Kateri Him and Pedo says putting this here for those who may not have seen this yet for free at home test per house.
Right.
There's a link there, and I was kind of worried about. Oh, not wondering about that. I saw some ads actually, a lot more ads about the at home test. I guess the ones that professional athletes that have been having access to for the last 2 years are
Yeah.
now being made available to the general public, the lay people out there, us regular folk. So yeah, I'm kind of curious. Did anyone take a at home test? Has anyone kind of explored that?
Speaking of which, something else happened over the break too. All of a sudden, the masks that we've been wearing aren't strong enough.
Oh yeah, the
And,
cloth.
right. Not even the cloth, like the N62s or whatever it was we had at first. Now they got some N92s or something like that that you got to go buy. And I think Biden is getting ready to send out, like, give a bunch away, send out a
Hmm.
whole bunch of them. Like, so anyway, yeah, you got to have a new mask for all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stuff.
Actually, Miss C plays. It's the N94 mask. She
There
says,
you go.
and,
Yeah.
and apparently they're about 250 a pop, 233 a pop.
Okay. So I just heard something about Biden is about to give out something like 200 million of them or something crazy. So it's another thing that you can do on top of getting your home test is it's probably wrapped up in the same thing where you can get your home test. Oh, and I heard somebody say they got online wherever you go online to get those home tests, and it's pretty easy, and you get it afford to a household, and it's like takes you about a minute to order, and it's
Yeah,
it's no big deal. And I think that's going to be the same thing with these N94 masks too. Whichever ones they're going to give away, but man, it's just never ending with this stuff. Like I can't imagine. I bet you the anti-vaxxers and stuff like that are just going nuts. Like this will never, they'll just never stop.
Like I said, man, nothing's going to be the same. Like we talked about, getting over this whole pandemic and things going back to normal. It's not going to be a new norm or a normal. It's going to be different.
It'll have to be. Brother Sanchez says there should be a community garden next to a church that parents can drop their children off and care to the gardens. It's a good idea. You can come up with some good ideas,
Yeah,
man.
it is an idea. Hey, you interested in city council or something? You interested in?
Yeah, man. We got the
Go ahead, step on up.
Brother Sanchez for mayor. Come
Yeah,
on with
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mayor Sanchez got a ring to it.
I
Well,
like that.
I will say there is a garden next to Claire Methodist. Shout out to Pastor P right there off of I think like 50. I want to say 56th and Ames.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out
That's
to
right.
Pastor
That's
P.
my hood right there. That's right there. That's what's up. Did not know that. I finally got to speak to Pastor P at that town hall that Brother Justin Wayne and Senator Terrell McKinney
Yeah.
and Senator Carol Blood put on. And yeah, we definitely talked about having her on the show this season and talk about some things. We're gonna have a lot of good guests on the show this season for sure. As a matter of fact, Friday we're gonna have Marcy Yates from the Culture House.
Yeah, man.
So catch up with some of the things he's doing. Wanda Lewis has given us that definition. Says sunset provision or sunset clause in public policy is a measure within a statute or regulation or other law that provides that the law shall cease to have effect after a specific date.
Hmm.
Hmm. The sunset provision, unless further legislative action is taken to extend the law. Whereas most laws do not have a sunset clause and therefore remain enforced indefinitely. Did not know
Makes
that.
sense. Makes sense. Okay. And that's again in reference to the BID.
Interesting. The sunset provision. Okay.
Some things to mull over.
Most deaf. Michelle Moreno says, right. It's hard. Every day I pray for everyone's safety. Well, you ain't lying. I'm telling you. Yeah, man. Everybody who's got it, stay low, get well. And reach out, let somebody know. They'll drop off a food package or something at your door or whatever y'all need. But definitely talk to each other on that. They're talking to each other in the chat already, which is great. We love that, of course.
Michelle Moreno says that she actually ordered her at home test. So, yeah, kind of. Or is that the test or the mask? I'm kind of interested.
Since they ordered the children's N94. So if a child has just a random solo cough, so, come on, try this special mask. Come on here,
Yeah,
baby. I
yeah,
got N94 for you. Come on through.
yeah, yeah. Be
Yeah,
careful.
man. We're back in the midst of it. It's like COVID is worse than ever. It's a hot mess. Um, so yeah, lots to talk about there. And as you can see, there's people all around us that have been getting sick, and the beds are getting taken up again, and everybody's a lot of people on their third shot, and we got to get some new masks and still stay low. A lot of people that have gotten their shots and their booster are still catching COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Their symptoms are not as hard as they were. Fortunately, mine kept them out of the hospital, like Terry Bricker said. So yeah, there's a lot to that. I don't want to spend the whole show talking about COVID, but it
Nope.
is here, and that's just what's going on. Unfortunately, um, we're just keeping it loose today. It's 7:49 right now. Just kind of want to bring in a little breather real quick and just let you guys know we're here. Jonathan Benjamin Alvarado in the house. What's
Hey,
happening, man?
JBA.
Yeah, man. He's talking about LB 1077 was introduced the unicameral yesterday. We'll get to that in a second. Also, Wanda Lewis is saying the United Way has been assigned as the stewards of the ARPA funds. This is another thing we were talking about. Let's take a quick break and come back and jump into those comments and flesh those out a bit. Once again, First Sky Omaha in the morning, First Sky Omaha Radio, Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich. Space is the place. Season 3 is happening now. All of you, the chat chimers, really appreciate you guys coming in this
Man.
morning. We're keeping it loose today and just doing a little talking about what happened over the break, where we left off season 2, what we're going to do for season 3, and what you guys got into and thought was important and couldn't wait to get back to talk about. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, live from the void, live from space. Let me put some echo on my mic. Space. Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. We got the Chat Chimers coming on back in with us. We really appreciate everybody who's chimed into the chat and who jumps on this with us. I want to go ahead and read a couple things that we got going because this is the show today, man. We talking about the things that you guys wanted to talk about, was itching to get back to talking about over the break. Wanda Lewis is saying United Way has been assigned to be the stewards of the ARPA funds. They're responsible for overseeing, investigating, and distribution of the ARPA funds with the assistance and involvement of the communities for which the funds are requested. I think that's a very interesting point there. As a matter of fact, I think William King is going to be is a part of this as well. So we can reach out and be connected to the United Way and have a say about how these funds get out to the people. You know, to just assist on getting these funds out to where they need to go. Now, where they need to go is a whole nother conversation because we heard the mayor get on and talk about where some of these funds were going. I thought it was real interesting that she was talking about how we need to use a lot of them for public safety. You know what that means? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely a buzzword.
Right. In the course of this season, we're definitely going to talk about that because these ARPA funds are so much money that they're supposed to be coming, and a lot of it coming to our neighborhoods, you know, our areas, and some of the people that need help there. There's still going to be something to talk about. We got to kind of break down what the mayor said, where it's going. We got to throw some people over to United Way, hopefully get involved with that, so we can kind of regulate some of how it's getting out and the distribution and everything that's happening. So you know, lots to discuss on that one, and we've been, you know, I'm glad that you guys have been keeping up on it. Appreciate you, Wanda Lewis, and the others that have been keeping up on this stuff. We'll have to bring Senator Justin Wayne and Senator Terrell McKinney back on as well to talk about how the $400 billion that they were trying to get for North Omaha. I'm sorry, $400 million they were trying to get for North Omaha. How that came about, and if you know what was the progress on that. If they're satisfied with some of the ways these ARPA funds are going to be used, I'd like to hear from them how this whole thing went down from the inside. And so you'll be looking for that. We'll definitely catch up with those guys. Jumping into Brother Alvarado's post here, he says, for your information, LB 1077 was introduced in the unicameral yesterday. It is essentially aimed at banning CRT or anything remotely close to it. Critical race theory. Here we go again. Here is the opening paragraph. A bill for an act relating to government to provide restrictions and requirements for governmental entities, public, post-secondary, three institutions, and public schools conducting mandatory staff or for student training or education involving certain concepts relating to 5, race and sex, to define terms, to provide for enforcement by the 6th Attorney General, to provide for withholding of funds for 7 violations, and to provide duties for the Board of Regents. 8, coordinating commissions for Commission for Post-Secondary Education, State. 9, Department of Education and State Treasurer. Let me read that again for you. The opening paragraph. A bill for an act relating to government to provide restrictions and requirements for governmental entities, public post-secondary institutions, and public schools conducting mandatory staff or student training or education involving certain concepts relating to race and sex, to define terms, to provide for enforcement by the Attorney General, to provide for withholding of funds for violations, and to provide duties for the Board of Regents Coordinating Commission for Post-Secondary Education, State Department of Education, and State Treasurer. Who put this bill up? And is there any traction? We left off season 2 with Pete Ricketts trying to take over the school board, with other Republicans that were trying to get in on the school board. When that didn't work, we've learned that the Attorney General, whoever's running for Attorney General, is very crucial to this, to education, to being able to regulate what's going to happen. They're still pushing for critical race theory to be banned. They're still we determined last season that they're the only ones talking about critical race theory. Um, that they're using it as a buzzword to ban a whole lot of things that they wanted banned in the first place. Um, we have we talked last season about sex education and how that is leaving so many people out when they want to try to limit information to students. So they're now got a bill going on that is they're trying to ban stuff. They're trying to make it. They're just trying to ban everything. I'm kind of throwing it back here. I didn't really. I'm just learning about this bill right now. Just kind of tripping on it. What was being said here? Give us your thoughts on this. LB1077. I'd like to know who introduced this bill, who's behind it, who's fighting it.
Just looked it up. It's B. Hansen.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly who that is, but B. Hansen is the one who introduced it.
Okay. So, they're connected to Pete Ricketts, probably. We'll see. Brother Jonathan Benjamin Alvarado put some respect on his name. Hopefully we'll have him on the show too and talk about some of these things.
Definitely.
Political professor, UNO man, he knows what's happening and can let us and break it down for us for sure. And then, of course, we'll talk to the senators to get some inside information on some of these things as well. Brother Ignacio Sanchez says there will also be a workshop once a month where the tradesmen in the North Omaha community teach men, women, and children how to read a tape measure, use a skill saw, solder copper pipes, change an electrical outlet to teach the community self-reliance and introduce kids to the trades. All right, cool. Give us some more information on that for sure. Let us know where we can kind of send people to get some of that training, some of those workshop trainings. Wanda Lewis says 18 hours of virtual orientation from February to March. Score applications individually and make sure the nonprofits exist. Okay, she's talking about what volunteers can do with the United Way to make sure that these allocation of the ARPA funds goes well. And what you got to go through to do that. 18 hours of virtual orientation from February to March. Score applications individually and make sure the nonprofits exist. April through May, volunteers will meet to make funding recommendations. 5 months to review applications, approximately 25 hours of your time within a 5-month period. You will be responsible for scoring the applications. This will be a community investment review team, giving individuals from their community an opportunity to participate in reviewing nonprofits and recommendations regarding the ARPA funds through the Omaha Community Foundation. Okay, so this is something I'm interested in. I would actually kind of like to be on that. Now, there's some things there. I believe, like if you get if you're going to get some of these funds, then you can't be on this panel. So we need to find out the stipulations there. Wanda Lewis says United Way is developing groups to review grant applications. Let your voice be heard and be a part of the process. All right, there it is. There's our call to action right there. There's an opportunity for us to be there, and you know us in the Chat Chimers. We like to let our voice be heard. That's why we're on here doing this. So this is the call to action to us to jump on that. She says volunteering your time, work from home. If you're requesting grant dollars, you cannot take part in the review process. Okay, so there's the stipulation there. So if you're requesting grant dollars for your nonprofit, some of these ARPA fund dollars, then you can't be a part of the review process. Makes sense.
Which makes sense, right?
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. We'll put some more information on that for sure, but definitely something to volunteer with if you can. Didn't realize that you were going to be part of the vote of the process of like who's going to get the funds. So that opens up a door there that might help. Help this situation. So appreciate your information, Wanda Lewis. And again, we'll put some more information out there on this so that you guys can get in on the process. I'm definitely going to check it out myself and maybe try to get in on the process because we're not asking for no ARPA funds for what we're not even a nonprofit. So
nope.
Yeah. And we got a little inside information on some of these nonprofits too, just who's doing work, who's actually doing some stuff, which ones we want to see get some help and so on and so forth. So this would be a good thing for us to, like you said, let our voice be heard on. Most definitely appreciate that very much. So 8
Yeah,
o'clock
here we
hour
go.
right now. We're in the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning. It's already 8, man.
Man.
No, it is. It flies by. So appreciate everybody chiming in the chat. Once again, First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning, season 3. Space is the place. Me and Buddi3 Da Gawd are back, and it's going down. And right now we're discussing some of the things that over the break you guys thought we need to be talking about. So we're bringing some of those up. Missy Play School says last season we talked about housing insecurity. I was facing losing my business and home. Well, I'm now the first woman in my family to own a home.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
That's what's up. Says I'm happy to speak with anyone about how, because I believe a lot. I believed a lot of the myths out there. See, being banned from Facebook brought out my productivity.
Yeah, you do a lot of reading in jail. You do a lot of reading in jail. Yep.
So if you know a handyman, let me know if they're a single male, even better.
Ah.
Got you. I'm gonna go on send Pookie over there. Nail something
Oh.
up for you. Man, yeah, that's funny. When you're in jail, you know the productivity goes up when you ain't looking at Facebook. I got you.
Yeah, come out with degrees and all kind of stuff.
Mind is a terrible thing. Remember naming Wayne's on different
Oh man.
what you need to understand is a plethora of things. The crux of my venereal infection. He used to go off.
Oh, that in living color of skin. Oh man.
Too
Yeah, I forgot
much.
about that.
Mind is a terrible thing. Christy Norris says, be sure to call Bacon's Washington office to let
Yes.
tell him to vote for the John Lewis Voting Rights Act.
Some marching orders.
That's what I'm talking about. I called yesterday and told him I would work my behind off to make sure he is voted out of office. Elect Alicia Shelton for Congress.
There you
Alicia
go.
Shelton.
All right.
We got to bring Alicia Shelton on the show this season for sure as well. Yeah, you gotta get Bacon. I just heard Bacon on NPR this morning, man, talking some mess.
Yeah, Bill King just had Bacon on over there. You know, maybe he'll come holler at us.
Oh, he's been on the when we were back in the Minus Soul days. He came on 2 or 3 times because he loves coming out here talking about all he's doing, and they'll be doing a whole lot. I don't think. And it's real funny too because like I got a problem that I got to work on, and I'm gonna just go ahead and reveal it to y'all.
Oh man.
When I don't really have a lot of respect for a person, it's hard for me to hear what they're talking about. So literally, I just heard Don Bacon on the radio saying something on NPR, and I immediately forgot what he said. It didn't stick. I don't even remember what he was talking about. Exactly. The whole time I was just like, oh, here we go. So yeah, that's another call to action right there. That all the Chat Chimers can do. Thank you very much for that, Christy Nor. Am I saying your name right? You know me and butchering names. Christy, is Nor the right way to say that?
Yeah, I think it's Nor.
Okay. She says, be sure to call Bacon's Washington office to tell him to vote for the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Interesting fact: the family of Martin Luther King Jr. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Put some respect on his name. Said, don't even celebrate their father this time around if you have not put no work in on the Voting Rights Act. If you have not, right, like, spend your time on your day off doing that. So the John Lewis Voting Rights Act is huge. Everybody knows about it. Everybody needs to get down on it. And I'm glad I didn't know who to call. So thanks for letting us know. Call Bacon's Washington office. Tell them to vote for the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. If he don't do it, like she says, she's going to work her behind off to make sure he is voted out of office. Elect Alicia Shelton for Congress. There you go. Missy Play School says, last week, a person in District 66 commented on Nextdoor app that they and 3 others were running for school board to combat CRT. 2 of the you get on. You ain't no joke if you get on Nextdoor app. That's the most brutal app there is, right there.
All right.
What about it? 2 of the 3 names dropped out of the running. He quickly deleted his comment, but screenshots are forever. That's why you be getting in trouble, man. That's why you be in trouble.
You gotta be quicker than that.
I'm gonna throw in the chat here. Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna throw in the chat here Don Bacon's office, Washington office. We just put it in the chat right there. Facebook and Twitter pages are called Washington D.C. office. We got some numbers there for you to call. Yeah, man, let them know. We need that Voting Rights Act to do what it's got to do. John Lewis Voting Rights Act. We really need that to happen. So definitely give them a call. Von Chapman says the Nazism, the Gestapo in the house. Man, yeah, I'm trying to tell you, next door app ain't no joke. They're trying to do it. They're trying to kill off what they're calling CRT. Like I said, we learned last season that CRT is not even a thing. It's just something that they're using to ban everything they want to ban.
Man, it's another boogeyman, another buzzword.
Wanda Lewis says Ricketts and Doug Peterson is attempting to bring a lawsuit.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, you never know what these political now they tour bringing everybody. Let's see, Ricketts and Doug Peterson are attempting to bring a lawsuit against the Douglas County health director for the mask mandate. That's another thing that happened. The health director got on and was like, put the mask back on.
Yeah.
However, Lincoln's healthcare director also implemented the mask mandate 3 days after Douglas County. Ricketts said nothing about a lawsuit against Lincoln's health director. Does he have beef with Omaha? I wonder.
Possibly.
Great question. So let's see. United Way. Okay, United Way.
Yeah, put the United Way link in there.
That's what's up. Missy Play School says my eloquence level elevated exponentially.
Indubitably.
Indubitably, I love it. Mine is a terrible thing. Josh Tay called him for Josh Tay, who's the name king, just called bacon. That's what's up.
Bacon bacon.
Brother Muhammad said he bumping his gums. You know, we say on my side, he's talking out the side of his neck. You know what it is. Mark Vander says he was saying some entitled BS like always. Brother Mark, good morning to you. First of all, second of all, he don't like no bacon. I be seeing him posting stuff. Mark be speaking. He be speaking right to him too, like calling him out. That's what's up. What Christy North says you pronounce the case. See, I knew I was saying it wrong.
So is it Knorr? Is it
Knorr? I knew I was saying it. Something told me I was saying it wrong again. That's what I do.
See, I thought you had it right this time.
I had it right too, but I never do. I don't even trust you.
just second guess yourself. Always ask.
Yep.
Mayor Sanchez coming out with some good ideas. He says, is there a visitor center for 24th Street or where visitors can go for first aid, directions, let people know which restaurants, businesses are running specials? All right. I don't think so.
If you're down there, venture into the Great Plains Black History Museum because that brother knows about what's going on around there.
Oh, yeah.
You can, it's an informal visitor center, but you can go check it out, see what's happening.
True.
Missy Play School says they make me want to cuss regularly, but I like to know what my neighbors really think. That next door app ain't no joke, bro.
I haven't been on there. I have to check it out, I guess.
I don't know, man. I got on there early on, and I was living right next door to the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, so that was my neighborhood, the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation neighborhood. They was talking so much mess on there. I was ready to walk down the street with a pitchfork on somebody. Like I gotta quit reading this because
this next door app actually shows you people in your area specifically.
That's what it is. It's like a Facebook, but only for the people in your neighborhood. So you got which neighbors are saying what and talking junk. And like she said, screenshots are forever. I was so mad at this one cat. I was gonna go find him down the street.
Man.
Yeah, it was one of his. I was like, I can't look at this. There's some real idiots, some real racist ridiculousness going on around the area. And my area wasn't even bad. Like I said, it was around the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. There was only a few crazy rednecks and stuff on there. Other neighborhoods, you got to have some thick skin to get on some of that, man. It's like reading Channel 7's websites comments.
Might have to use that as like a police scanner, just as I travel around, just see what's popping up in the area.
For real.
Again, remember, Nebraska has like one of the most, or has the most active hate groups in the country as a state. Things like over 2 dozen.
And right, and one of the ones that has the highest amount of militia groups around as well.
Mhm.
Mama God in the house. She says, "Hey, First Sky
Hey.
fam, missed you, Paul. Missed you too, Mama God. I'm glad you're back." Um, we got to go. Oh, Michelle Moreno says, "People aren't even following that mask mandate. They walk into my job every day without a mask. It's terrible. Yeah, it's a hot mess." Brother Muhammad says, "Reminds me of the old scare stories in the Twilight Zone."
Mm. Twilight
And
Zone.
Michelle Moreno says, "I can't do next app. Yeah, I can't go to jail." That's what I'm
Is
saying.
that bad? Is it that bad? Is it like the what was it like the what news channel is that? Channel 7 that has a really bad Facebook
That's what I'm saying.
comments and like that on steroids?
It's like reading Channel 7 comments is what it's like.
Man.
And let me tell you something. If I had kids, yeah, you better not look at it, bro. You find out you you better not look at it.
What?
Somebody be talking some mess, and it's not really the anonymity of or it's not really like, well, Facebook, we got a community, who's in Omaha, but you don't know everybody.
Mhm.
But you got a real tendency to know everybody who is around your house, especially if they talking crazy, and you got people to protect.
Man. See,
Yes.
I wasn't even that hip.
And you know what? I will say, like, I'm not trying to say that, like, the whole concern is that kind of like physical safety concern. It's really just like the dumbness. It's really like it's the most kind of just hateful talk. Those people talking hateful about their neighbors, and it's I can see like the stuff that was on that BID billboard. You got people with them kind of attitudes on there talking about stuff, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Mm.
it's just a loss of, like, it's just a reminder that everybody around you is an idiot. That's what it feels like that.
Yeah, Missy
You
Play School says folks are posting back what doorbell pictures of innocent people portraying them as criminals. She says just last night was 2 kids under 12 and another was an elder with the wrong address and they act like they were trying to break in. Yeah, idiots.
Kateri Human Peto says the Nextdoor app is problematic. Plays into race baiting, especially with the number of
Mm.
suspicious man in my neighborhood posts. Right. Terry Bricker says there's some redneck mofos in my area. Well, we live in Nebraska. Von Chapman says bacon is exactly why pork ain't good for you.
Man, can't
Oh,
can't mess with the swine, my brother. Can't mess with the swine.
yeah, but Sean McCarthy says exactly. Nextdoor is one of the best racism scanners out there, just like Channel
That's
7.
hey. Let them know, show them true colors.
Brother Muhammad said this is why they build bunkers, y'all.
Mm.
There you go. Yeah, can't go to yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's giving you a little idea of that. Brother Muhammad says the metaverse next door. I'm gonna go in metaverse and virtually beat somebody up from down here. Brother Mama God says, I'm really wondering why a mandate again. People like, what the F? I'm not wearing a mask, and what are you going to do? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I'm already just like, man, are we still going through this? So I can't imagine like what an anti-masker is, man. They're probably just going crazy. Like, this is just never gonna stop. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about it. I wear my mask. I don't care what nobody's. I wish somebody would say something to me about wearing a mask.
Yeah. I just both ways. You know, I've seen people like videos of people getting attacked for not wearing a mask. I've seen people getting attacked for wearing a mask. Like it's all just kind of crazy how people are handling this.
It is. It's really dumb. But you know, it's it is, but at the same time, like like I'm not gonna play devil's advocate, but I am gonna say though, um, it is it feels like it's ridiculous. It feels like it's getting ridiculous. It feels like all of this is getting ridiculous.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying. Like all of it, either
yeah,
way. Like it's ridiculous to attack somebody for wearing a mask. It's also ridiculous to attack somebody for not wearing a mask.
I mean, yeah, it's
It's getting
we
ridiculous.
need a whole new way of lifestyle. Like we need a whole new way of doing things. Like,
Which goes back to our point of nothing is going to be the same. Like again, society is changing, man, on a massive scale.
yeah. We got a good morning from First Sky. We got a good morning from Augie Kid. Good morning, First Sky family. What's
Hey,
happening, brother? Thank you very much for coming on in. Also, what was I? There was something else. Oh, Missy Play School has a good point about the Nextdoor app, though. She says I declined a potential client due to seeing her behavior on Nextdoor. So this is kind of something this fun, interesting because I read the Channel 7 chat stuff sometimes just to like remember where I'm at,
yeah.
who's around me. And so that yeah, that's very interesting. If you got a business and you kind of see how people are acting, you can
Actually,
decline.
that is one thing I did read over the break. There was a pretty good NPR article talking about the probabilities of a civil war and what does that really look like and what are the prospects. And they basically said that there are two America's dividing now more than ever, especially over the last 150 or so years. As far as just looking at the election map
Hmm.
and why every year there's always these red, this is sea of red, and then there's these blue dots, and we have basically a large majority of Trumpers and people who believe in this anti-vax, and a lot of those people are in rural areas. At least that's what the NPR article was talking about. And then you have the people who voted for Biden and are voting for kind of the more progressive things that we're seeing. Those are all congregated and just jam packed into metropolitan areas. And it's like, how do we get the two America's back on track? It's a very interesting article that I definitely wanted to talk about with the people, with all the chat chimers. So I'm definitely glad that y'all reminded me of that because I forgot about it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to pull that back up. And also to answer your question, Kateri him and Pedo, yes, if you haven't seen Don't Look Up, a very, very interesting comment, very satirical movie on how kind of makes you think of how we're handling the pandemic. Did you see that?
Satirical? I thought it was a documentary.
Man. So I'm guessing you've seen it. I'm guessing you've seen it.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. I thought it was great. They laid it out exactly how they laid it out. The one gripe I had was at the end
Man.
when they went to the planet. They wouldn't have took them black folks. They came with them.
Mm.
They had they should have went on with the whole realness of it.
Oh man.
But that's okay because space is the place, and black folks gonna be
All
in the
right.
future anyway. Don't
Yes,
matter.
yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah, that was a great movie. I definitely recommend you watching. Don't Look Up. So yeah, definitely a trip. Missy Playskool says some folks just want to be stuck on stupid. We're 2 years in, and I still had to tell a woman at the store to stop standing close enough for me to feel her consonants said on
Mm.
the back of my neck. We're supposed to have personal space long before COVID. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
Some
what.
people still haven't figured it out.
Yeah, that's what that stuff gets me too. Like I'm like, would y'all gonna need to back up? Just get out of my personal space for sure. Mayor Sanchez says, America is the youngest culture in the world. We are in our terrible twos as far as the culture goes. Yeah,
Okay.
I like
It's
that.
interesting. Yeah.
Hmm. Let's see. So everybody's talking about it. Mama God says my stepdaughter just moved to DC for her master's for her law degree. I say that to say she's pretty aware of legal matters. She said DC residents are so aggressive and vocal towards anyone who don't wear masks. She said it's intimidating and over the top.
Yeah, man.
I haven't heard that report before, so I hear people that are we're in Nebraska, so I hear people that are chiming up over you wearing a mask, but not people who get crazy over you not wearing one. That's interesting.
Yeah. I've mostly been hearing about attacks in New York. A lot of attacks around masks.
Attacks.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah, physical attacks.
That's heavy. That's what I'm saying, man. This is a hot mess. It's 8:20 right now. If you guys believe in the concept of time, we're not really doing breaks. We're kind of just taking it easy. This is first show back for season 3, and just really appreciate everybody coming on and talking about some of the things that happened over our break that you guys couldn't wait to get back and talk about. So we're here and we're chilling and we're listening and we're talking, and we really appreciate you guys doing that. Little Augie Kid in the house. Since he's in the house, then we appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that has jumped onto Spotify too and checked out our Spotify list. Shout out to Augie Kid for getting that ballot and the bullet up on that list. That's what's up.
This is also a reminder. We are live. We're stretching it out, man. We're live on YouTube, live on Twitter. Working out this Instagram situation, but that's gonna take some work.
That's right. You know, those of you who told us that you only even on Facebook just to watch this, you know, you ain't even really on Facebook like that. There's some other places. Do you watch YouTube? Because I do. I definitely I'm on YouTube more than I'm on Facebook for sure.
Yeah.
So now you can watch it live over there too and see past shows over there. And stay tuned for much more, many more moves there. That's what's up. Once again, like I said, it's 8:20 right now, Omaha, Nebraska. Watch out, it's cold outside. Shout out to Augie Kid. He says, I remember hearing recently that rural area cats were upset because they don't have no or weak internet. Think of how quickly info has moved since the dawn of the internet just 10 years ago. How much rural cats have missed. Don't know, don't understand, haven't heard of, experience, relying solely on their trust in channels like Fox News. Wild. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I don't think about the correlation between what the bad quality internet people have or people that don't get the internet at all. I remember Erykah Badu song Southern Girl. She's like, I got friends that don't know about the internet.
Mm-hmm. That's real though. It's real. There's some very remote areas of this country.
Yeah. And they're really, and you think that there isn't because we have the internet, but there's some areas that don't have the internet. So how do you learn about things then? TV is still the most powerful thing in the country. That's what it is. If you're just joining us, really appreciate you coming on in. This is the first show of season 3 right here, First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. We're live from the void. Space is the place. Season 3, we're going to be talking about all kinds of space things, tech things, but also spaces in which people of color need to be residing and finding for ourselves, and what our space is, what our place is in the space of Omaha, Nebraska. We're still very Omaha centric, even though Buddy is in Atlanta. But I love that he's over there because there's some parallels. We're able to see things that are going on in Atlanta, things that are going on here, some things that can work there that could work here, and so on and so forth. So it's always good to kind of spread out and see that. Our kid said, I forgot I made this beat. Yeah, I found a folder, man, that had Ballad and the Bullet in it, and there was the whole series of stuff that you made with that. And I was like, oh man, I missed all these other tracks. Von Chapman in the chat says, will it be Joe Biden and Kamala Harris or Joe Biden and Liz Cheney? Will it really matter? Ooh. Cold blood. Missy Play School says, I think that's the case in most big cities. I bite my tongue often, but I will say something if you get within 6 feet. I lost it.
Yeah, she says, I grew up with my mother telling annoying people, give her 50 feet. So I do enforce my 6 feet. Yes.
I heard that, man. I heard that. Got to.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Judy Primler's giving us some bad news. Sotomayor has diabetes, a condition that puts her at high risk for serious illness or even death from COVID-19. Man, wrap her up with bubble wrap. We need Sotomayor staying around. Mark Manor says, I got very aggressive with people not wearing masks in my store before vaccinations. I had employees that had health things and they did not need to get COVID. I've been seeing that. I'm over at the Benson Theater, as you guys know. Last season we talked about this a little bit, but the Benson Theater was one of the first theaters that decided you got to show proof of vaccination and wear a mask to come in and see a show. We were. I remember that night anticipating. I wonder how many nuts is going to come here and start howling and screaming and going nuts. There was a couple of Karens that chimed up, and that was really about it. Everybody else said, I've been in isolation for a year, almost a year. So like, the fact that you guys did it this way is the only reason why I came out. So I
Hey,
found out later on that a lot of movie theaters started following suit with that proof of vaccination, and you got to wear a mask in there as well. So, everybody's working to try to get around this, man, to be able to still do some stuff. I went to film streams last week to see a film finally, and same thing. You got to go in there, make sure you got a mask. They only sell a certain amount of tickets, so you guys spread out. So, everybody's taking measures to try to keep it going and do what they do. But wow, it's kind of rough.
yeah,
Uh, Tamika Johnson says, "Oh my God, so glad I could be done with Facebook. Thanks for giving me going live on YouTube." Okay, good. See, that's what I'm saying. There's some people
yeah.
that she's over on YouTube saying that. Okay, that's our first YouTube comment, by the way.
Yeah, that's kind of why it would caught me off guard. I saw that pop up while you were talking. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So the chat chimers just just got a little bigger. The room just got a little bigger.
There you go. Von Chapman says, "Beat up all the Karens, problem solved." Well,
Sheesh,
Brother Chapman,
sheesh,
we don't want to resort to
sheesh.
violence.
Nah, nah.
Somebody posted that yesterday. They were posting the question: if you woke up the opposite gender, what would you do? I was like,
Hmm.
well, I'll go whoop a Karen's ass real quick. Just give me one in. But no, we don't want to resort to violence. We're not about that. It's about
No,
peace.
no, no.
About peace in space.
Yes,
I miss Missy Play School said, I'll just call Missy Play School and be like, you out of jail? Need you to go beat somebody up for me.
I got somebody that's fresh out.
You don't want me to go get Missy Play School. She said, exactly. I'm protected because I refuse to be the reason a child gets sick, and not to mention if I'm close, I'm in trouble. I'm the sole income to support my teenager in this mortgage. Yeah,
Man,
man.
it's a delicate balance.
It's real, especially in your line of work. You're kind of the person to me that is you have become the example of somebody that is going to be extremely diligent, extra diligent, because of you're gonna be around kids, and you gotta watch them kids. They can possibly come in with symptoms and all kinds of stuff, man. So
Mhm,
yeah, it's a lot.
mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, we on YouTube now, moms. Yep, yep. You know where to find us.
there you go.
My
Wanda,
dukes.
Wanda Lewis says, three of our city council members are also against the mask mandate and has joined in on the lawsuit against our Douglas County health director. Can you believe these?
Yeah.
Can you believe
Again,
they're trying to sue the
right. It goes to the ridiculousness of it. Like, what does a lawsuit really achieve?
it's
What are they sue? What are they suing for? What are they asking for? What do they hope to gain if they win this lawsuit? Is it money?
mm-mm-mm.
The removal of the mandate?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't why is that the course of action? They don't like something that this appointed health director has mandated, and so the first thing well, we're going to sue her to stop it. Like what is the I don't know.
Sean
Yeah,
McCarthy says basically cheap political points and airtime on KFAB.
yeah, that's what you do. We just there you go. That's I guess so. I guess it is news when you put a lawsuit out on something. So there you go. Brother Muhammad says this keeps salaries paid to the do nothings of the world. There you go, man.
Yeah,
Lawyers need to get paid. So I guess we just will sue every time, all the time. Missy Play School says I had a child for 4 years with one kidney. I have very thorough wellness policy. That's what I'm saying, man. You're the example of that. I can't imagine this is the most you got the most vulnerable. Unless anybody working at uh, a, uh, a home for old folks home is also my heroes too, because they're in a situation that's rough, and deaths are going up in the old folks homes again too. Retirement community is just like last year. Like I said, I got on the news after a month and was like, are we in last year again?
man. Nope. Just going round and round. And Miss Snipes, put some respect on her name.
Oh, good
Is
morning.
reminding us, yep, good morning, reminding us of the power that we have to change that. She says these are individuals who are elected to partake in decision making. We have control over that turnout. So I do believe not only is Ricketts seat up, as he will be term limited, and hopefully we get Senator Carol Blood in there, but think I think Doug Peterson might be up for reelection as well. I think his seat might be up for election this cycle as well. So yeah.
And we already talked earlier about Pete Ricketts endorsing Ellen Pillin, saying that he likes his Republican base and his ways and so on and so forth. Hot mess. Yeah, Augie Kid says the only thing I can think of is optics for reelection points, right?
Yeah,
The base. Yeah, man. It's kind of
I'm sorry, Mayor Sanchez coming with the ideas. He said, I would like to see the North Omaha community take their banking back. Someone highly respected collect donations for a year and give out loans without bank involvement. There's supposed to be some kind of like small business bank incubator type situation going on 24th and Lake. I don't know if you remember that, Paul.
I
There's
do.
a
I looked into
big fanfare about that whole situation. Maybe we should get some of those people, who was involved with that, bring them on
it.
to get an update on that, because that's a good point, and that's something that has been discussed several times, over the last couple of years. I think ah I drew a blank on his name, owner of Gamers that ran for city council, David Mitchell. I
Mhm.
think he was talking about some banking situations that was a part of his campaign. I know Senator Terrell McKinney put some respect on his name and has talked about banking and finance in the North Side and North Omaha community. So definitely some things there that we can talk about. And especially, talk about space as a place over this year and cryptocurrency and the role that that's playing and how that's changing some lives. Can definitely look into some of that over the season.
Very true. Yeah, I looked into the banking situation over there, the Carver Bank thing that they were doing. Willie Barney, we reached out to Willie Barney to come on and talk, and I haven't heard back from him yet, and I just kind of dropped the ball on that. So we'll
Mm.
definitely talk to them again, because I think that thing is going on. They were providing funds and loans for people who were starting businesses in North Omaha, and that was that we're about a year past that, so it's time to see if that made some difference. So we'll definitely reach out to that group again and find out. See Nick in the house. What's happening? Says these people are suing the Douglas County Health Director because their mommy said they don't have to wear a mask if they don't want to. Yeah, yeah. It's like I said. The only reason why, I mean, it's kind of mind blowing that they decided that suing the Douglas County Health Director is the thing to do. But
Yeah.
there you go. Political points is what we're all talking about, for sure. So, Kimmer Snipe says, I got some ideas to increase that 15% turnout we experienced in North Flavors, Omaha. Okay.
She said, ignore the flavors. She says, I don't know how flavors got in there.
I don't know either, but I liked it.
Hey,
And pray for Senator Blood, whose son is in the hospital. Oops.
no, man.
Didn't know
Man,
that.
get well soon.
Yeah. Shout out to Senator Carol Blood. Put some respect on her name. Hopefully everything's okay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I'll never forget. She's the one that the guest that we had on. We asked her where the best wings were. She said, "My house."
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, don't have us knocking on the door over there. You better watch out. We'll be on next door next door app talking about the party at Carol Blood's house. Melvin, brother Muhammad says, "Are all deaths in Douglas County counted as COVID mania on death certificates?" Good question. There was a question last season too. There was people that were kind of passing away of pneumonia and some things like that, and they were calling it COVID.
Mm.
And you got to wonder why they got to have some death numbers up to get some funding or something like that. I mean, can't put it past them. Never know. Brother Chapman, oh, they're talking to each other there. I don't want to get in the middle of that conversation. Brother Mark Manner says, uh, Peterson isn't running again. I don't think. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. But that means his seat is vacant. So yeah, let's keep an eye on whoever throws their hat in that race, and what may come of that, because that is again, that's what Attorney General.
Yes. And I've learned a little bit about how important that actual role is with a whole bunch of stuff that they're talking about. The CRT issue,
Man, top cop,
sex
man.
education, right? There's a lot. So it's going to be a very important seat. I've been reading all over the country that's where all the Republicans that were against CRT, all the Republicans that were pushing back against certain things to be taught in schools and stuff like that are running for these seats. Also, the election, it has to do with the elections too. So a bunch of Republicans that were saying that Joe Biden stole the election, that Trump really won the election. They're all now running for the attorney general seat because that also that job has to do with regulating that stuff too. So they're trying to
Mhm.
get in there and try to act like they need to reform voting. And so yeah, the opposite of the John Lewis Voting Rights Act is these Republicans that are jumping into these attorney general seats to try to mess things up for voting. So
Man.
we'll
And
be definitely talking about that this season for sure.
And speaking of that, again, brother JBA brought our attention to LB 1077 earlier about prohibiting public schools, post-secondary institutions, and governmental entities from training or teaching certain concepts relating to race and sex. That bill was presented by Ben Hansen, who was a Republican senator of District 16. So I got a little more information on that.
Interesting, interesting indeed. Yeah. Miss Snipes is asking, aren't they supposed to be doing something with that Carver Bank on 24th and Lake? Uh,
Yes, what we're talking about.
I don't know if they was going to do something with the actual building, but they did have. I'm not sure if it was the actual building because they part of that project was running off of American Savings Bank across the street. That they were part of that whole initiative to give black businesses in North Omaha loans. So I don't know if they were going to do anything with the actual building, but I think they named it like the Carver Bank program or something like that. So I'm not sure. We'll have to look into that. Like I said, we'll reach back out to Willie Barney and try to have him on and talk about that program and more if we can. Brother Muhammad says, did you know that charging interest on debts in Islam is forbidden? Didn't know that.
Missy Play School says Judaism as well. So,
Wow.
alaikum salam and shalom.
There you go. Terry Bricker says, so if we don't like what the city council does, we can sue them too, setting a precedent. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, so the city has made some decisions in the past that we might need to, think about doing a lawsuit with. And speaking of that, there's some lawsuits from 2020. I don't know what the result of those were. The ACLU had about 2 or 3 lawsuits out against the city. I'm not sure if they settled or what happened with that. So we might have to contact the ACLU throughout the season and get some updates on that as well.
There you go. Brother Marcel in the house says, good morning, fam. Was just reading an article about how cryptocurrency is reviving WP groups.
What are WP groups?
That's very interesting. Yeah, give us some more information on that. This is good. I'm glad that we got some people that are looking into this. I've been reading a whole bunch about cryptocurrency. That this is something that we are going to help educate a little bit on, because it does have to do with investment. This really all comes down to investment, which is what we're all about. Let's invest in our communities. Several different ways we can do that. Several different things we can do. Yeah, let us know a little bit more about that article, brother Marcel, if you don't mind. Also, let's see. Man, there was a comment in here I was going to try to get to. Miss Snipe says, when I ran for school board, there was 0 political action committee members interested in supporting school board races, none. But the wearing of masks has now ensured that school boards are starting to get that attention. I can't stress enough how much it pisses me off that education wasn't the reason to get financial support, but the anger behind masks, which bother no one on Halloween, is the country is some jacked priorities. Yeah, that's a trip, man. Everybody who I know that's got something to do with city council or ran or was on there, just like, yeah, we don't never approach how to get some money for what we got to do by talking about education. It's always something else. Can we stop
Mm-hmm.
CRT? Can we stop CRT? Can we ban the mask mandate? All these other things are the reason why people are getting involved in school politics, which is crazy. Not education for
Nah.
for the most part. Yeah, it's interesting to say the least. I mean, like, this is a trip. If you guys are just joining us, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. Thanks for everybody that's chiming in the chat, coming on in and talking to us and hanging out with us today. This is the first show of season 3.
Just hanging out, man.
We're just hanging out. Space is the place, is the theme for the season. We're going to talk a lot more about all that. Just to let you know about some things that are coming. We're connecting with KIOS and we're having some programming happening there. We're gonna have some guests on from Flatwater Free Press, buddy. This is a new thing that I haven't even talked to you about yet.
Okay.
We got contacted by them, and they have some new reporters there. They're going to come on and talk about some of the things that they're working on as well on a regular basis, along with the Reader and our fam over there at the Reader as well. So got a lot of good things popping on that end. So some good stuff coming out, and the First Sky Omaha video channel is going to drop this season as well. So we're really working on that. We've come a long way in this year. Got a little bit of funding from the White's grant, which is great. White's family have always been the supporters of what it is that we're doing. It's all good. I'm going to throw you on real quick while I take care of a little technical difficulty here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stay tuned real quick. And we'll be right back. Actually, let's take a quick break. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd. It's going down. That's right. You know what it is. Ooh. Boogie Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Star Trek Rich, Augie Kid in the house, and a little Boogie Jones for your ear holes. We appreciate everybody who's joining us in the chat this morning and on the actual radio channel as well. Thank you for everybody that's listening in this morning. Everybody chiming in the chat. Really, really, really appreciate you guys coming on back, and I love it. So, yeah, man, we're here. How you feeling over there, buddy?
I'm good. Getting a little love on my Oakland hat. Hey.
The Oakland A's.
Oaktown, Missy Play School. I see you. Also, my Deuce asking, any news on the North End Teleservices development on 24th and Lake? The Deuce, that big multi-million-dollar project that Councilwoman Juanita Johnson is a part of, a few other powerful women in the community all teaming up to make that happen. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to getting some updates on that. Towards the end of the last season, we were working on getting Councilwoman Juanita Johnson on the show. To my understanding, Paul, you actually was able to hear back from her?
Yeah, we went on the tour that Preston Love and the Fabric Lab put together there, and she came on to the tour with us, so we got a chance to speak in person. She's definitely down to come on and talk about some things, so we're definitely going to have her on this season and find out what's going on. I also met Miss Kuntz, I believe is her name. That was one of the 3 women that was starting that project. She was on the tour as well, and she's the one that has the construction, the contracting company that's supposed to be kind of doing the work. And then the teleservices, sister that runs the teleservices is the third. So I got a chance to talk to them a little bit just to find out what was going on over there. And they took an office over across the street, next down from the Love's Jazz, from the old Love's Jazz a little bit. Just kind of keep an eye on things that's happening across the street. The development is moving fast. So we'll definitely have them come on and talk a little bit about what's going on there. Appreciate you bringing that back up. That's definitely something that we're going to talk about this season. Judy Prinzler in the chat says SCOTUS Gorsuch will not wear a mask. He sits next to Justice Sotomayor, so she has to work from home.
Ah, okay. I get okay. Because Miss Judy Prince, she's been kind of posting like Gorsuch doesn't wear masks, but I'm finally putting two and two together as far as what she's talking about.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's dangerous.
it is. It sets a bad example, bad precedence, and putting a fellow worker life in danger that
Mhm.
everybody, the whole country knows needs some consideration here.
It reminds you of that state senator here in Nebraska that was talking about the herd immunity early on, and then eventually got COVID himself and was all excited about it and was like, finally, and yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's a hot mess, man.
yeah, man. Again, just ridiculous.
Uh, Kimmer Snipe says, so this is what we mean when we say political climate, which is an unfortunate part of decision making, which is why I might allow some grace with some of our decision makers. Keyword might. I hear that. Brother
Yeah.
Marcel says it delved into what the biggest owners of cryptocurrency are, and the majority of them belong to some sort of white power group and
Hmm.
use their gains to support the groups and support white ethno states. Talking about that cryptocurrency stuff, man, that's incredible. Yeah, I definitely want to see the article on that for
That
sure.
goes back to what I was saying with the NPR article, talking about the possibility of a civil war and an overwhelming majority of Americans today supporting the idea of their state seceding, and the echoes of Pete Ricketts and the like, talking about states' rights, and that buzzword, coming more in. That might be, kind of coming full circle and putting two and two together. That might be a little bit of what's behind this lawsuit uh, going out over
Mm,
Douglas County's mask mandate. Again, that might be a little flex of that, that power before our very eyes. So now that I think about it, so yeah, definitely more to look into with that as far as cryptocurrency and some of the moves that these white power groups are making. Again, it's right in our own backyard. They call Nebraska the Red Sea for a reason. So we definitely have to be aware, as we talked about, the Next Door app. You got to pay attention to what's going on around you in your community. And yeah, definitely it is a nation within the nation that's kind of being invested into with cryptocurrency. So
that's
yeah,
crazy.
it's all technical and wrapped up into itself.
That's incredible. Von Chapman says to ban CRT is the equivalent of to banning MLK Day.
Mm.
Like I said, man, we kind of learned last season CRT is not a thing. Critical race theory is not even a thing. They'd like to ban MLK Day. I'm quite sure. Like they're using it to ban everything they want to ban. Which is they're hiding behind. So it's really interesting. How they're the only ones out there hollering about banning CRT. Like nobody. It's not even a thing. Like no,
Hmm.
like get off
Just
that.
like Miss Snipe says, most folks, just like the lady on the SNL skit, have zero clue what CRT even is. It's not even meant for K through 12 to begin with.
Yeah. Ashley Kuhn, thank you very much. That's who I was trying to the name I was trying to come up with. That's who was she was also at that tour and got to meet her. So yeah, CRT might be something that we are going to continue to talk about here just because of how it's being used,
Hmm.
how it's being used against us, basically. So yeah, it's messed up and we like I said, I think that we were still in the middle of having to spread that message and to explain what it is, to explain it's not even a thing, and to really kind of read between the lines on why they're using it the way they are. That's
Hmm.
what I was trying to get to. Yeah.
Yeah, creating that boogeyman. You
Crazy,
know.
man. Augie Kid says some crypto bros are the ones who ended up getting their hands on that legendary Wu-Tang album that got auctioned off. And I don't know if have you seen the inside of that Wu-Tang album yet? So
No, I haven't.
for those of you who don't know, rap group Wu Tang Clan put out did this legendary thing of releasing this one album. There was no other copies of it ever, and they put this exorbitant, crazy, like $2 million price on it or something like that.
Hmm.
And it's in this silver kind of box. Nobody's ever seen the insides of it or nothing. And one of these crypto bros bought it. It was the guy. It was the pharmacy guy. The guy who was
Yeah,
was
Martin Shkreli.
This fool was charging, he was getting pills for $2 and charging something like $800, something crazy. His matter of fact, he just got convicted for this bumping up of the prices of the stuff that he was selling.
Yeah, yeah, insulin pills.
So he thought he was cool and he bought it. And when FBI came, seized all his stuff, they took it. So the FBI took pictures of everything that was inside that box.
What?
So you can actually go find and look at the inside of that Wu-Tang box and see what was in it. But yeah, I was just like, man, yeah, of course they did that. Of course they took it and took all the
Release the
shit off.
secrets,
Right, released this. Somebody knew what they was doing with that. They were like, oh,
man.
let's get that Wu-Tang box and get some photos.
Release the secrets of the 36th chamber, man.
Man, come on, man. That's that's crazy. Brother Muhammad says they create the money and traffic in racketeering or RICO Act. There you go. No, we know the game. We know the game by now. Mayor Sanchez says, thank you, First Guy, for providing a space for people to place their ideas and concerns. Traction. Hey man, we can't do it without you guys. Without you guys coming in and putting some ideas down. This is what this is about.
Yeah,
So,
this space is definitely the place for all of that.
there you go. Buddy, what you thinking about as far as season 3 is concerned? Before we're getting close to the end here. It's 8:51. If
Mhm.
you believe in the concept of time, just kind of wanted to spend today. It's funny because we didn't even really have to look up any articles today.
Nah,
We just went off of what you guys have been looking at and talking about this whole time. So thank you for giving us some things we'll look into so that we can look into further, do some research on, and come back and have some deeper conversation about what are you thinking about, excited about as far as season 3 is concerned on your end, buddy.
man. As I mentioned at the top of the show, just excited to kind of lean more into the community aspect of what it is that we're building here. Looking forward to seeing how we can mobilize together and really make some things happen. And just exploring new spaces together. Again, we are broadcasting live on YouTube, broadcasting live on Twitter, and let us know how else we can find more people, where else we can go, where else you would like to listen to us. Definitely interested in going into the podcast space, the Apple podcast, Spotify podcast spaces as well. So if that's something that you would like to see from us, definitely let us know. But yeah, I'm just excited to be back, man. Excited for all the new changes that we're working on. Definitely excited for the interviews that of course that we would like to see and have coming up. So yeah, it's all about growth. It's all about progression, and that is the most exciting thing for me. Or with this, just a year in, man, seeing how it has grown, seeing everyone out there, all of you, all the chat chimers, even the ghost listeners, as I like to call them, those who aren't quite chiming into the chat, but just going about their daily lives, listening to the conversation and kind of soaking in some of this information. We would definitely appreciate you, love you, and thank you as always. And also kind of reminder, not quite a hat. I don't know if you wanted to get into some haps, Paul, but just in the last 7 minutes of this show, as I look through the Friends of First Sky Omaha page, big shout out to brother Nomar Valentine, as always, giving us the good information. I wanted to remind us and give some marching orders about these ARPA funds. Again, there will be some training webinars scheduled coming up through the city of Omaha ARPA Community Grant Program that kicks off Thursday, February 10th. There's also Wednesday, February 23rd, and Tuesday, March 15th. Again, these are all training sessions to help give feedback and highlight needs, intersect with the federal requirements of the American Rescue Plan Act, or the ARPA funds. Again, this is a once in a lifetime ask, so definitely making sure that we're doing all that we can and we have people in place to kind of oversee and make sure that that is handled. So again, that's some of the things I'm excited about, just mobilizing the people, continuing to grow the community, definitely in some of the new spaces that we're not now broadcasting, and continue to progress. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. Progression.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, very much appreciate all that information. I'm definitely going to look into that myself. I kind of, if I'm able to be able to have a voice there for the ARPA funds, use the knowledge that we've acquired here, talking to each other in order to be able to disseminate those funds the way where they need to go for sure. Before I get too far into what's going on here, like I said, it's 8:54. We got about 6 minutes left in the show. Just want to put up the tricky words of wisdom
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
my man Star Trek Rich sent over to him. The Starfleet Daily Meditation. Today is by Benjamin Sisko, who is from Deep Space Nine, is my favorite Star Trek character of all times. Running may help for a little while, but sooner or later the pain catches up, and the only way to get rid of it is to stand your ground and face it.
All right.
Yes, that's always some good advice.
Yeah, man.
You gotta stand your ground, face it, man, because wherever you go, there you're at. And if you brought the pain with you, it's gonna be right there with you. So, yeah, only way to get rid of it is to stand your ground and face it. I like that. Tricky words of wisdom from Weberized.com. Hit Weberized.com if you are in the podcast space and would like to have some professional podcasting done. They're the people that do it. Weberized.com, definitely. I made a list of our partners and our sponsors
Man.
the other day and realized that we got so many now that, man, I'm gonna have to put them on some credits at the end or something.
One of those Star Wars rolling credits just coming down.
No, straight up, because I'll be reading for the next 4 minutes on everybody that's down for what we're trying to do. So
Thank you.
really appreciate all y'all for jumping in. And
Yeah, man. Thank you.
always we want the feedback. Let us know. Thank you. Oh, here's Pops.
Hey.
I was wondering where he was at. Pops, he said just wanted to be the last to say good morning. Want to have the record one way or another. Love.
Hey.
I ain't gonna have the first or the last. That's what's up.
He flipped it on us.
Reigning last, thank you, champion. Really appreciate you.
Oh man.
Brother Sanchez says I'm heading to YouTube to subscribe ASAP. Hit the bell. That's right.
Yeah. We never been able to say hit that subscribe button down there, that red subscribe button. Make sure you tap the bell. Yeah, we live on YouTube now, y'all. And you can comment from YouTube. I know we were having some issues with the friends of and the first Sky comments not coming through. If you're checking us out on YouTube, you can jump into the chat and you too can be a chat chimer.
Man, come on with it. That's what's happening. Yeah, we thank you very much for our first YouTube comment, as a matter of fact. So now we know it works. We're going to ask somebody to get over there and send us ones and make sure those don't come through. So it came on through, and we're very happy about that. Again, thank you very much for everybody that's chimed into the chat. Come on through every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's how we're going to do this season again. That seemed to work well. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And also, when we're on, don't forget to share the broadcast so that all your friends can see what you like, what you into. Yeah, really appreciate that. Yeah, I got you, Augie Kid. I'm gonna hit you up after the show for sure.
Also, before we get out of here, Brother Mark Manor had a hat for us. He says Homers is co-presenting a listening party at Reverb Lounge tomorrow night for King ISO's new album. So, hey, man, hey, go ahead and do yourself a favor and go ahead and check that out. King ISO, one of the dopest artists coming out of Omaha, of course, part of Strange Music, one of their over there with Tech Nine and the whole camp. Again, representing Omaha in the right way. So definitely a shout out to King ISO's new album. Shout out to Homers for joining on that. Again, co-presenting the listening party at Reverb Lounge. Let us know what time. Brother Mark. And we'll definitely spread the word on that one.
I also want to shout out Mark and Homers as well too. They're one of our newest partners. They're one of the ones that I was talking about.
Yeah, man.
That big long list. So I really appreciate Homers. They're the only place that I go buy records when I buy records, man. And if you listen to First Sky Omaha, you're probably a person that buys records and has a record player as well. So let's get back to that, man. Let's hit Homers up, buy some vinyl. We're definitely gonna have a vinyl party at the Benson Theater this year. I'm already planning it.
Hey.
So pick your best vinyl out and bring it on down, and let's get busy with it for sure.
Actually, I went to a vinyl store down here, man, and I'll just say it wasn't Homers, man. So yeah, definitely big shout out to Homers. Big shout out to Homers for all the producers out there. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Homers got a lure for me, bro, because when I came out here and moved here when I was 24, and stayed here for a year, I was heavy. That was like in the 90s, so it was heavy Prince fan. And I went to Homer's and they had all the bootleg Prince stuff that I had been wishing for, wanting, and reading about. Had it all. Couldn't believe it. Lost my mind. Went back to California. Like, we've been driving around Southern California for 2 years looking for this stuff, and they had it all at Homer's.
All right.
So, and then I found out later on in life, Mark Manor was the reason behind that. My purple brother, Mark Manor, was
The
the reason.
dude.
The dude. So I'm so happy that we cool now. We friends now. We partners with Homers. It's inevitable. It's you know me. I love synchronicity. So but here we are. We're back.
Man, full circle. Full
Full circle.
circle.
First guy
And
Omaha.
he
Mhm.
he says it's going down at 8 p.m. tomorrow. So again, if you're interested
Okay.
in checking that out, what you should be, you go ahead and do yourself the favor, check out that new album, get you some good bars. And yeah, 8 p.m. at Reverb Lounge tomorrow. Also, before we get out of here, I did want to show some love to another Omaha North Sider doing big things. Of course, talking about Miss Simone D. Sanders announcing her
Ooh,
new show. Her next move will be on MSNBC on Peacock. Yeah, looks like she's getting her own show. Peacock's The Choice. So yeah,
there
shout
you
out to
go.
her.
Hey man. So that's Peacock is about to be the Omaha channel. That's
Man, all right, Amber Ruffin, Simone Sanders. We might need to go over there next. You know what I'm
hey.
saying?
Look out for Paul B. Buddi3 Da Gawd on Peacock coming soon.
Hey, first Sky Omaha on Peacock.
I want to give a shout out to our Omaha tribe elders who allow us to be on this land and speak while we're here. A shout out to our elders who allow us to speak before them. Shout out to Weberize.com who helps us out with all of our broadcast needs. If you got podcast needs, hit them up, Weberize.com, definitely. And I promise I'm going to get a list of all of our sponsors and all of our partners. And I'm not gonna spit them all out here, but I'll bring it to you. We'll start incorporating some more things because we're very grateful for all this help and support. Everybody who is a reoccurring member and has hung in there and hangs in there through the break, we really appreciate you as well. This helps us get to the next level every time and helps us continue this every time. And basically, we've been here for a year now, and so
Man.
most of you have been with us that long, and we really appreciate it. So yeah, tell a friend. Let's expand this some more. Like I said, we're on YouTube now. We're on Twitter as well. We go live there as well, and we're really going to push the digital channel this year, radio and video digital
Yeah.
channel. So definitely look for that. And yeah, we love y'all too. Just love y'all, man. Keep up the super awesome work. Thank you very much,
Thank
Miss
you.
Knight.
Put some respect on her name, y'all.
Put some respect on her name. Brother Marcel, he says, great show. Have a great Wednesday, everyone. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. And yeah, man. So everybody, what I saw one up here. Pop says, love my First Sky fam. I heard that. I love my First
Yeah.
Sky fam too. Really
Mr. Mika
appreciate it.
Johnson says, like, subscribe, share. Let's grow this YouTube channel. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that, y'all. Let's go ahead and grow it.
And be sure to hit that bell. No,
Yeah. Bing.
been wanting to say that for a minute now.
That's what I'm saying. We on YouTube now, y'all. It's all about progression, man. Let's keep moving. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing. And as Missy Play School says always, take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. Drink you some water. All that good stuff.
Have a good one, y'all. We'll see you Friday, and we'll be on with Marcy Yates. Stay tuned for that. Peace. Have a good one. Hold up. See, technical difficulties. That's not the beat I wanted to play right there.
That's not it. That's not how we going out.
Peace, y'all. Peace.